Cripps, thanks for joining us after the tough loss to Carlton in round 11. With a game like that that's played seemingly in two halves where obviously we were very competitive in the first half, both statistically and on the scoreboard in terms of equal numbers of contested possessions and uncontested possessions, and in the second half really blown away. What do you as a coaching panel take out of a game like that where it is very much played in two halves?
Oh, look, it's very frustrating in terms of what you said. All the indicators were at half time that we're certainly in the game. Though there was some signs in terms of our ability to rebound the ball from at offensive 50. We certainly struggled in the first half, and the inside 50s against us were quite high, but we were able to hang on. But obviously in the second half, the floodgates open.
With the way that Carlton play, really rebounding and spreading wide off the half-back flank, the forward pressure is increasingly important, and we saw great forward pressure in the first half. Why was there such a big drop-off in the second half in particular?
Oh, look, that's the unknown, isn't it? If we knew the answer, we'd fix it. We've had a lot of second halves of last quarters where we've dropped out for a variety of reasons. If we knew the exact answer, we'd fix it.
At three-quarter time, we were still only 16 points down, and it started bucketing down with rain, and you would have thought they would have evened the sides up a bit, but Carlton seemed to push further away. Do you think that's just the greater experience and the bigger bodies and perhaps the greater ability in the side that allowed them to get that break in the last?
Look, no doubt their midfield's one of the best midfield groups in the competition, and they've got a lot of number one draft picks running around. They bottomed out a few years ago, and the likes of Walker and Murphy and Gibbs and Jardine, Cruiser didn't play. They're a talented group, and they're a top four side, and we just weren't able to sustain it. And with where we're at in terms of our development, we're just not there yet. I think we showed for half this week we can match it. We were able to produce more four quarters last week, but we just weren't able to sustain it against bigger bodies and mature bodies, and in the end the scoreboard opened up.
We've got a lot of very, very young players in our side, and particularly the midfield group is looking increasingly younger, with players like Jacobs and Moore really part of the midfield these days. How much of having the bye really pushed out towards the end of the season do you think takes out of younger players?
Look, no doubt. Unfortunately, the luck of the draw, we're the last team to have that bye. So, I think tonight you would have seen that probably was the first time where our kids didn't really have an influence in terms of Jacobs and O'Shea and Pittard and these type of guys. Broadbent Moore just weren't able to have an impact. So, the bye's come at a good time for us. Probably 4 or 5 weeks too long, but yeah, hopefully the boys will freshen them up and look forward to West Coast.
It looked really concerning at one stage there with Brogues when he went down with what looked like a knee injury, but then the man mountain that he is got back up and hobbled off the ground and was able to play out the game. He's got a torn bit of tendon in his finger, or he's got torn webbing in his finger and sore Achilles. What are we going to do in terms of making sure that Brogues can last the rest of the season and perhaps push through to 2012?
Yeah, look, he's a pretty resilient sort of guy. He's as tough as they come, both mentally and physically, and he's got niggles all the time that he's able to manage and push through, and this will be just another one, I'm sure.